I've been getting lots of DMs about filming, editing, and YouTube. If you're one of those people that have been asking me about starting a channel, uploading videos, basically YouTube channel is mostly just about uploading videos. So what are the basics? What do you need to know before you start? This video is for you. Hi, Chinezrem here. In this video, I want to explain and break down how I do these things for my channel. So first, we're going to talk about lighting because lighting is like the basics of content creation. Lighting can make or mar your content creation because before you even move to edit, before you move to even filming it, you need to have good lighting. Majority of the time, people think having good lighting has to do with buying lots of lights, having Godox, so many brand names, blah 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 blah. Which yeah, sometimes they're necessary depending on your environment, but natural lighting is the best. I'm currently using the light coming from my window. This is an example of natural lighting is the best. I'll show you guys the difference between natural lighting, softbox, and a ring light. Between natural light, softbox, and ring light, I would arrange it in this order: natural light, softbox, then ring light. I recently got a softbox around November of last year, and do I even use it? I barely ever use it, and it was very cheap. I got the softbox for about 20,000 naira. Just the softbox and the lights in it. I got it for about 20,000 naira. It wasn't as pricey as I expected, but the tripod was 8,000. I think everything in general was just 20,000 naira, right? I don't really remember, but in general, let me just say estimate 30,000 naira to just get a simple softbox. It's not branded, it just depends on the light you're inserting. I know the problem with softboxes is that it casts a shadow, but I believe if you place it diagonally to you, like by your left or right side, but let it just be in almost if a is it 90 degrees, I think a 45 degrees angle sort of thing. When I started this channel, the first light I purchased was a ring light, and do I regret it? I do. Honestly, I feel ring lights are not necessary, or else it's just something you really want, or you just want someone to put your phone in between the lights. I wish I had browsed more, researched more on ring lights and soft boxes, because when I got my ring light, it wasn't like, I don't know if you understand what I mean, it wasn't really everywhere. Like if you want to shop it online, you won't see so many stores selling it. So I got it from a store and it was very pricey. I think I got it for 41,000 naira. If I mentioned it in the video I made that year. I would say ring lights, they are great, they are okay if you're trying to go on a budget, and that is the cheapest light you can afford. But I don't think they're cheap. Ring lights can be very harsh. Ring lights is very, very harsh. Like, honestly, it's so harsh that I wonder how I filmed all those days, because if I really want it to be soft, I have to take it far away from me. And the reason I got the ring light was because it had a phone holder. I wouldn't advise you to purchase a ring light because of the phone holder, so that you can place your phone inside the light. Better you buy a tripod for filming only and use natural lighting, or you buy a tripod, and if you really want to buy a light, then maybe you can go for a softbox. But left for me, I'll say you do not even need a softbox. Natural light can work for you, or else you film your content in the night, or else you just a content creation for nighttime, or the type of background you have, your window doesn't really face the background you want to use, then yes, you can go for a light. Or if you're trying to do a professional shoot, you cannot always depend on the sun, so yeah, you can go for artificial light. But if these are not your problems, please, natural lighting is just the best. And whenever you're trying to vlog, be mindful of where you're vlogging. Whenever it's dark, where the lighting is best, that is where you want to vlog. Don't use direct sunlight. Now, you don't want this sun to be shining directly on your face. I don't like when the sun is shining directly on my face. I like when the sun is reflecting on the window, the glass on the window, and then reflecting on me. I feel the light is kind of softer, and it's not harsh, and it just blends everything in. But whenever it's directly on my face, number one, my eyes won't open very well, I won't see, and then number two, it will be so harsh and it will be hitting my phone. Somehow whenever the sun is hitting my phone, it gets hot. So, and I'm going to film for a long period of time, so I don't want that kind of environment. I wouldn't advise you to film directly in front of the sun, but you want to just film where there is kind of a shade, the reflection of the sun can come. I don't even know if I am making sense. It also depends on the time of the day you're filming. You can film in the morning time, that's fine, but I like to film towards 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. ish, majorly 3 to 4. I like to film like it's currently after 3 now. I feel the sun this time is just a bit soft. When the sun is setting, it's just softer. It has the effect, this sunset effect it gives. But during the day, during like 10, it's too, the effect is not just there. So I like to film around 2 to 5. You want to make sure you try out different angles when you're filming, because you're just trying to find out the best spots for you. So before I started filming in this room, if you had noticed, since I moved to Asaba, I didn't make any sit down video in this room because I was still trying out different angles. So it takes time, and you just want to keep trying different sides to see which side is the best for you. Now my fan is facing me and my tripod and my phone, and then the light is coming from this direction. I'm not directly facing the light, it's coming from this direction as it's hitting my window and reflecting on me. I have my fan that is facing me because I need fresh air. My microphone cancels out the sound from the fan, that's why you need a microphone. Then my tripod, I always keep my tripod diagonally, like I don't keep it directly in front of my light. So you can see the sun is coming from this direction and hitting on this window and reflecting on me. This is where the sun from my window hits, it doesn't hit me directly. So I use this window to kind of reflect it to me. And the lighting is superb. This is the mirror I use to check behind. This mirror came with my ring light, by the way. And then you have this microphone. It's a wireless microphone. I advise you to get a wireless microphone. You want to just make sure you use the best lightest spots in wherever you are filming. Okay. Next, we're going to talk about filming. Okay, now you have the good lighting, you've gotten the best spots. So when it's time to film, how do you go about it? My filming equipment is my phone. It's an iPhone XS Max. I started this channel for the past 3 years. I used an iPhone 7 Plus until last year when my phone was stolen. I've been using that phone since, and to be honest, the quality is great. So I do believe that starting with what you have is, you can always start where you have. I can't really say much for Android because I've not used Android to film before. If you are just an Android person, you have to just find good ones. It's up to you. I like to set my camera to 24 frames per second. I noticed that whenever I put it in 4K, it wasn't really showing any different stuff. I tried to compare it, so I wasn't seeing this HD quality whatever any. But with my, the quality is okay, and even when I upload this on YouTube, I don't see it reflecting as 4K. When I use the 4K, it takes more space, so it wasn't making sense that it was taking more space and I wasn't really seeing the quality there. If you can actually see a difference in quality, then yes, go for your 4K 30 frames per second, whatever. I feel when you play around with your filming equipment long enough, you just get to see what suits you better or what you prefer. A tip for filming would be to make sure to always keep your camera steady, always get steady shots. I used to get shaky shots. Sometimes you can't help it, especially when you're vlogging, you cannot always help it. Most times, depending on the environment, like if you live somewhere like Onitsha now, you can't always vlog outside and it won't be shaky, because sometimes you're gonna get scared to pull out that phone, you understand? So I do get scared, and most times they're shaky, sometimes because of the road. But as much as you can, you just try to make sure your camera is steady. It just gives a better look, feel, whatever. It makes your video appear better in general. So make sure to get steady shots as much as you can. Then one other thing, which is almost everywhere, is to make sure you clean your lens, clean your camera lens before you start filming. Clean it. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I cleaned it, clean it again, clean it. There are times where I'll make good videos but I didn't clean it, and I'm like, so if I had just cleaned this thing. So just always clean your lens. It makes everything better. The color of your outfit matters. I noticed that whenever I put on a black color top to film a sit down video, my appearance looks better, my face looks brighter, everything just looks better, it complements my skin better. So always know what works for you and try out different outfits. Know the colors that make you pop or make your video better. I also believe the background affects the video, the color of the background. My previous background was orange. I so hated it. I felt like it was giving this color to my video then, but now I feel maybe if I go back there, I know how to make my way around it. That's why I like my background having something dark, like this brown wardrobe behind me. If you like aesthetically pleasing videos, you have to make sure that you don't have all this my rubbish color combination behind me. All this my color combination, I just don't really put so much mind into it. I'm not really obsessed with color combination and stuff, but it does help your video look more collected and look better. One other tip I would like to give is to always be creative when you're filming. Whenever you're filming a content, it doesn't matter what gadget you're using, just try as much as you can to be creative. I've been filming in my kitchen for a very long time, since I moved here, but it was only recently that I was like, I have been filming from one angle. What if I change my angle so that my viewers won't get tired? And then I changed my angle, and then I was like, what if I put this up? How can I put it up? That whole trend of putting sellotaping your phone to the ceiling. I always wanted to get an aerial view, but my problem was I didn't have the area stand stuff on my tripod. So, I was budgeting to buy that until that trend started. I was like, oh wow, really? I could have just sellotaped this up since. Although my ceiling is quite high in my room, but I tried my best to put it. If you had watched the video where I did this, you'll notice that my phone shifted a little bit. It tilted a little bit because the sellotape was not really holding it, so I had to film my content fast, but whatever, it was worth the shot. So you always have to try to be creative and try to just sprinkle things here and there. You just have a different view of everything. Filming kind of adds flavor to your video, so you always want to be as creative as possible when filming. Always have an idea of how you want your video to turn out, what exactly you're vlogging about. This is specifically for vlogging. When you're vlogging, you just always want to know, like, how do I want this vlog to just be a quiet vlog? Do I want it to be a quiet vlog, or do I want the vlog to be chaotic, or do I want it to just be normal, basic? Depending on how you want it to be, you want to film like that. If you want a quiet type of thing, you want to make sure you're doing things and the ASMR stuff is flowing in. You just have to take note of this stuff. One problem you can't see when you're vlogging or when you're filming sit down videos like this, like I can't see myself. I'm just hoping that things are how I left it. So what I normally do is I take a sample shot, then I check where I'm sitting and then adjust. I mark the spots where I adjusted to if it's the best, and then I check and then I sit down there for the rest of the video. I also have this mirror with me. This mirror, I use this mirror to I put it by the side to check if it's still recording, that kind of stuff, so I don't have to entirely leave. Let me see if this thing is still filming. Okay, we're still in shots. Sometimes I set it behind. I'm still trying to chase my capital to bring the mirror for this room so that I can have a mirror that reflects the screen so I can be seeing it. But I'm just trying to say you can always improvise, you can always find your way around things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I've always been filming. I sometimes I film and it's not playing and I have to play it again. But life happens. I basically use a 6-foot tripod. I only got this tripod recently. I posted when I got it sometime in December. I have been using my ring light tripod since I started my YouTube channel. That tripod that comes with the ring light, I just disconnected the ring light from it when I realized that the ring light wasn't really giving as much as natural lighting, and then I'll put the phone holder on the tripod directly and film my content. So that has always been my tripod until I decided to finally get a tripod, and I'm seeing the difference between a phone tripod, a camera tripod, and the ring light tripod. Though that one was really even when I want to get angles, it was so hard. But at least with this one, I can always try and get angles. So equipment does help. If you can afford to buy as much as you can, buy what will be necessary for whatever it is you're creating. But if you can't afford to buy, always improvise. You find your way around it. You can always stack books, you can always do anything. Honest, I have a selfie tripod. It's a very small tripod I use for vlogging. It has this Bluetooth shutter, although it doesn't really work well. I feel I should not have gotten it. The legs are not really stable, so I just use it to vlog because I can always make it small. You don't really need equipment to be creative. You can just be creative and improvise with what you have. You always have to try your best to improvise. You get me? You just want to make sure you have these 3 things: good lighting, good sound, and then good video. Basically make your video turn out well. So When you have your good lighting, you move to your filming, you have your clip for filming, you make it as good as you can, you add your background music to make things, seemingly good. Really say that you should first invest in a microphone. And if you can film in natural lighting, go for a microphone instead. The microphone just helps your audio quality, it boosts it a lot. I used to think it wasn't doing much, but it does so much, and you honestly need your audience to hear you better. So yeah, always think of getting a microphone. Two important things for starting a channel to me would be a tripod for filming and then a microphone. After these two, if you don't have money for others, you can always, try and invest in whatever. Oh, sorry, I forgot your camera or your phone. Move to editing. Now in editing, I use VLLO app to edit, and I've heard so many good things about CapCut. I've downloaded it on my system. I have it on my system. I have it on my phone. But but I am so used to VLLO that I cannot just let go. And I paid a subscription fee. It has so many good things about it, and each time they keep updating, so it makes me to not want to leave it. But CapCut actually has so many things I would like to try. It has so many things I would like to try out. But I think I'll be using CapCut on my system, since this app is not available on the system. It's only available on your phone or an iPad. You can't find it any other place. I wanted to give detailed explanation on how I edit my videos so that you can understand. My problem is, if I do that, this video will be far too long, and I don't like editing very long videos. So we're just going to make it short. The tips I have for making editing easier: edit in sections. If your video is very long, you want to cut them in sections. Like if I make a vlog for a whole week, I'm going to cut it into day 1, day 2, day 3, and edit them differently, then add them together and put my background music for it before I export. Because when I edit them together, it looks so long that I will not be interested in editing anything. I'm going to get bored, I'm going to get tired, I'm going to feel like I'm not progressing each time I look at the time frame. So putting it in sections before editing helps you, see your progress. If you finish day 1, you're like, okay, yeah, I just have 2, 3, 4 left. Go to your day 2, then you merge them. It makes sense to me though. Also, I would advise taking breaks when one out. When you're editing and you get tired, just take your break. Leave it. Do something else. I feel when you are creative while editing, your edits will turn out better than when you're so worn out and you're editing. You'll just be doing so many things just so that you do and export, so that you just get over with it. And so many times I've done it on my videos, I don't like it. You notice it towards the end of the video. So I try my best to start editing early so that I will be able to touch every part of it. And when I'm worn out, I stop. Whenever you see any edit you like, whenever you see anything at all that catches your eye, whenever there is just something tricky or sweet, open your app, open that software, open that app and replicate. Don't waste time. Don't leave it for later. Just do it. If you're so busy that you can't do it immediately, whenever you get to your comfort zone, do it. It helps so much. It makes you to, be creative. When you try to replicate it without seeing a tutorial, you might end up doing something else and you learn another thing. I feel that way, it just teaches you how to edit. And then if you cannot do it yourself, you can always browse about it. Like open your YouTube, go to the search bar, try to, what does this person do, how to zoom in, type it. I mean, why are you stressing yourself if you know you cannot replicate it? But I always advise to try and replicate it. It just helps your creativity. It boosts your creativity when you're trying to find out how this person did this on your own. You will find out other things. You might not find that thing you're looking for, but you end up teaching yourself something else about that app. Also, it's good to have already saved styles. When you start editing for a long time, you would start having particular things you like or particular way you like your video to be. Whenever you have a text you like, the size and the font, bookmark it. Just save it. I feel apps have bookmark option. Always bookmark your favorite styles so that whenever you want to edit again, you don't have to start trying to adjust it to that particular size or to that particular spot. Have ideas for your videos. Whenever you're filming, it's good to have what you want your edits to turn out in your head. It just makes editing easier. You film according to it. So when you're editing, you're not forcing your already filmed content to be something else. You're just going with the flow. When you're done editing, when you're done exporting, uploading, and you post this, always try to take feedback. Sometimes it can be a hard pill to swallow, but it's very necessary because you might be expecting your video to give a particular vibe. When someone else watches it, the person sees something else. So when you get feedback, when you listen to what people are telling you, it makes you understand that you are trying to communicate with people. You're not making this video just for yourself. You're making it for yourself and for others. So you will know how to merge it in such a way that you like the video and people kind of understand what you're trying to do in the video and they like it too. Your audience, not everybody will like your video. So your audience, we'll talk about your audience. So another tip is, don't forget that whenever you don't understand something, search it up, browse for it. Stop trying to be know it all. Just cut yourself some slack and just search for it. Okay, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, and you can watch my other videos. I create lifestyle content, I also do self-care content sometimes. Yeah, see you guys in my next video. Bye.